Good morning. So I thought I'd come in and give you guys a little update about my weight loss. I didn't weigh in yet this week, but last week my weight loss was minus 5 pounds, so that was minus 17. Then we went to Kansas City for Dave's birthday, and we kind of did whatever we wanted all weekend. We still walked a lot because we were in the city, so it was easy for us to just, walk downtown or whatever. So we walked a lot, but I also didn't stay on diet all weekend. It was kind of like the last weekend we could both kind of do what we wanted, and then we were strictly back on our diets. So I gained I think 3 pounds back from that. And I haven't weighed in this week, but I'll update you tomorrow whenever I do. This week we've been back to walking, we've been back to portion control, I've been back on the diet, no craziness. So we should see some good results, especially since, huge bump, especially since I've been dieting. Another thing I wanted to talk about kind of is something I've been struggling with at work, or just in general, people not holding up their end of the deal, pretty much. Like in my office, we're supposed to be working as a team, and we're supposed to be, uplifting each other, and we're supposed to be there for each other. And whenever I'm out of the office, anytime I'm out of the office, I come back and I have this ridiculous meeting with my boss with concerns that are just so minute, honestly. Things that weren't explained to the fullest, things that could have been solved within 5 seconds and didn't require a huge dramatic blow up. But it was me being called into my boss's office, and she sat me down and she was like, I'm really concerned about things that are happening around here. And she addressed it as, I'm really concerned the faculty and staff are having these concerns, when really it wasn't any of the faculty. It was the staff members in my own office. This team that they want, this place where we're supposed to uphold the whole entire office and, support each other and be there for each other. It's not there for me. And whenever they need something from me, or they want a favor, or I can do something that benefits them, it's like conniving, kind of. Like, office politics are the worst ever. And I know I should stand up for myself, but it's like, if I stand up for myself, there's one particular person in the office is just a bully, She's just a bully, and it's like, do I really want to cause the chaotic blow up that me standing up for myself is going to create? I mean, I have to weigh my options. It's like, pick your battles, pretty much. But then yesterday, there's just been some political conversations going on, and I know not everybody is as sensitive to other subjects as some people, but I still don't think the workplace is the place to bring that up. I believe you can have your own beliefs, but I don't believe you should push them on others, especially in a bullying manner. Like, if I have a different opinion than yours, that's fine, but don't bully me and make me feel like I'm less than, or I'm, ignorant or something, because I don't believe in what you're telling me. I don't have to. That's not the point. The point is that we're in a work space, and the topic of conversation was clearly upsetting to me, but it was okay because it was her belief, and she was, she was voicing it. And I don't feel like that's right. And I think that it just went a little too far. And of course, I didn't say anything because I didn't really want to, be bullied or have it blow up to the argument that it would have caused, even though now I feel like I should have. And I think I'm to the point now where, I'm tired of being the mouse that doesn't have a voice, that chooses not to speak on things or to stand up for something that I believe because I don't want the outcome. Like, I don't want to deal with the reprimand of me actually standing up for what I believe, but it was wrong, And I think that's what everybody struggles with in some case. At some point in your life, there's a switch that goes off and it's like, this is no longer okay and something needs to be said about it. And I was waging whether I wanted to bring up the topic of conversation or not, and I will, because I think it's something that needs to be spoken on a platform. The topic was rape and how the woman in the situation needs to take some accountability for the actions that happened. And I think that is completely wrong. It doesn't matter if I'm wearing a bathing suit walking down the side of the street, or if I'm, in a little revealing clothing. Being raped is not your fault. And that is so upsetting to me, because basically what was being said was that these people deserve to be sexually harassed because of the clothing that they were wearing, and that's why they're implementing a dress code. That is completely ridiculous. It's not a woman's responsibility to completely cover up in order to not be sexually harassed by a man. It is a man's job, not to be completely disgusting. Like, where were you raised? I don't understand this philosophy behind the fact that if a young woman or a woman in general was to be raped, it's her fault because of what she was wearing. That's so disgusting to me. It's not her fault. It's not. It's called self-control. And some people don't have it. Is it also the man's fault if he was to be raped? This is a very controversial subject. And people all the time tell me, oh, men can't be raped. Yes, they can. Any human being that takes something from another person without their will, regardless of the situation, regardless of where they are, regardless of what they're wearing, regardless of the initial intent, it's wrong. And that's where I stand on that. And I was very upset yesterday because, you don't know what somebody has been through. You have no idea what somebody has been through. And for you to sit there and voice your opinion so openly and so bluntly and so, just disregarding anything that anybody else could have been through and joking and laughing about it, it's not a funny subject. It's not funny. I mean, I know maybe they didn't mean anything by it. Maybe it was just funny to them, but it's not funny to everybody. And to continue to berate and objectify and justify why it's okay for these women to be treated like that, to be treated as, property basically, or they deserve that because of what they're wearing. I don't agree with that at all. And it just really upset me. And I should have stood up and said that was wrong. But on the back of my head, I was like, do I really want to cause this entire argument? Do I really want to bring up this situation that is so close and so private for me in this office? Because I already don't trust these women. Just due to the fact that there's so many backstabbing situations, I already don't trust these women. So why would I open myself to be vulnerable to them and voice, why it's wrong for me? Because that's what it would have led into. I would have stood up and said, this is wrong. I don't appreciate the conversation. It's not women's fault. We don't need to accept responsibility for it because it's not our fault. It's not. It's the person who is doing it's fault. That's like earlier in one of my earlier messages, I said people need to start being accountable for their actions. That's in the workplace. That's, drug addicts, alcoholics. You know, it's a choice. Some of it's mental, some of it's, you know, psychological, some of it's, you know, physiology, some of it's, you know, hereditary, whatever, but it's still a choice. At the end of the day, you wake up and you make a choice. And placing the blame on people that, you know, the victims of the situation is wrong. I wholeheartedly believe that is wrong. You can't make me believe otherwise. And anybody that says that it's the woman's fault because of the way that she's dressing, it's the woman's fault because, you know, she shouldn't have been there, she should have known better. How was she going to know? I'm sure she did not walk out of the house dressed in whatever she wanted to wear and just say that day, oh, I'm going to be sexually harassed today, and if I am, it's fine because of what I'm wearing. It's so wrong. Anyways, I'll get off my pedestal. I want to know what everybody else thinks, honestly. Like, if you've watched this entire video, what do you think? How do you feel? Like, is it some of the women's responsibility for being raped? It's not. I can't make... I mean, some people might have a different insight, but I guess I'll talk to you guys later.